What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. The Clash Stampede is finally here. So I already said to you guys I was going to bring you guys a video breaking down this island, and it's actually very easy. Like, you shouldn't be too worried about heading into this. The bosses don't have much health, they don't do many gimmicks. Like, it's a pretty straightforward island. I already made a video basically running down the units in general, but I guess we could talk about them after we go ahead and do the run. So let's just jump into it, because the team that I am going to be showing you guys is a double jack team. Now, of course, you can sub out these units for whatever you like. You can run like the Colosseum Neptune as a captain, or Rare Recruit Neptune as a captain, but then again, you'd have to switch it up. You wouldn't be able to use Colosseum Kid under Neptune captain, so just putting that out there. But the other units we have on this team, we've got the NL and Shirahoshi legends. Main reason for that is because we can use Shirahoshi's healing and then Legend NL special on the final stage to just completely destroy it. We've also got Colosseum Kid for one of the boss stages, and we also have the Bellamy, who is the lowest cooldown unit that I have that I can have a look at, that reduces 3 turns of damage threshold. He's got a 9-turn cooldown. There are some other characters that you could use, like the Fortnite Caribou. He also reduces it as well. But anyways, let's jump into it. I am going to run 2 times stamina because I want as much EXP as possible. Also, currently out right now on Extra Island, you can go there and farm the 0 stamina mission for that completion, and you get your hands on the new Stampede 1000 Sunny, which is pretty cool. It gives you 1.5 attack, 1.5 EXP. Really nice ship to have. So if you guys need an EXP ship during this event, then that Stampede ship is going to be available. After the 18th of January, that ship will actually change to become a 3 times EXP ship. However, if you do have the Ho ship, like I am using in this team here, you don't really need to use the Stampede Sunny right now, because the Ho is just better. It gives you the same attack boost, but the Ho gives you more EXP and more cooldown. Well, because, yeah, obviously the Stampede Sunny does not give you any cooldown. So, the Ho ship is definitely better until the 18th of January, because that's when you get the massive EXP boost. So, what we're doing first with this team is we are going to go ahead and just stall a little bit, because we need to make sure that our specials are going to be ready by the time we actually need them. You could probably optimize the team a little bit more with some stalling and such. But I mean, look, we're doing what we got to do. Doing what we got to do here. We want to make sure. Actually, we've kind of overstalled. We actually don't need to stall anymore. We only need to stall until our Bellamy is on a 1-turn cooldown. Then we can move on to stage 3. So it is a 5-stage dungeon. The first 2 stages, as you can see here, are just regular islands. On stage 2 here, there is a chance for you to encounter a rainbow lobster. The rainbow lobster is very important, because it actually will be an evolution material for Douglas Bullet Legend. So if you need his evolution material, you can find it here. So stage 3 is one of the first mini bosses, where we encounter the Apu and Capone and the Bato and Cavendish characters, and all they really do is apply the 3 turns of damage threshold. So this is where we're going to use the Bellamy special to remove the 3 turns of damage threshold. Bellamy also does some damage, but unfortunately he does the damage first, then he removes the threshold, which is very annoying. He also gives himself a matching orb, which is actually pretty good. Now, unfortunately, we didn't save those rainbow orbs from Shirahoshi's Sailor ability on NL and Kid, because we could have used those for some type advantage against this guy. But let's just go ahead and see how much damage we're able to do. I don't know if we're able to kill, but if we are, that would be really good. Boom. I think we're going to be able to kill anyway. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so you can see these bosses don't have much health. The Apu character has 500,000. Bato and Cavendish only have 300,000. So yeah, they're very weak. Now, the 4th stage has Urogan X Drake and Foxy and Wapple. The Urogan X Drake have 580,000 HP, and Foxy and Wapple have 200,000 HP. So they're very weak, but they have 2 turns of attack up and 2 turns of blue shield defense, and they also blind you for 5 turns. On this stage here, I'm going to go ahead and using the Colosseum Kid special, and his end of turn damage is more than enough to just completely wipe this entire room, which is really cool. Now, the final boss fight on stage 5 is going to be against Kid and Killer, as well as Bonnie and Hawkins. So the Kid and Killer has 1.8 million HP, and the Bonnie and Hawkins have 500,000 HP. So again, they don't really have that much health. They are relatively easy to take down. Now, the preemptive attack here is we get Despaired for, I think it's 3 turns, but because I have full sockets, you know, the Despair isn't inflicted to our team. It's anywhere between 1 and 3 turns of Despair. Also, you get inflicted with the 20% health cut for 98 turns. You can see in the top right-hand corner there. And also, they have an immunity buff for 98 turns. But at this point, we can just go ahead and use the special ability of Shirahoshi, which gives us a full board of Rainbow Orbs, but that doesn't matter. We just want to use it for her healing. So the Shirahoshi special gives us a ton of overhealing, and now we can use the Legend NL special to deal a lot of damage towards this enemy. And because, you know, it's 2 million damage worth of special there, and, you know, the boss only has 1.8 million for Kidding Killer. So very, very straightforward with just an EXP team. We can actually go ahead and run through it with a really fast team now, which actually we'll go ahead and do. But how much EXP do we get from Double Jack on the 40 stamina island? We get 84k. That's actually pretty decent right there. And what do we get? We get some cotton candy drops as well. There are some Chopper Man missions as well. So as you farm this, you get drops for the characters. And another thing that I didn't mention either is that what will happen is when Douglas Bullet actually arrives in the Sugo Fest, there's going to be a new island that appears in this folder. It'll be another 40 stamina island. It is slightly more difficult. And on that island, you can drop limit break materials for all of the brand new characters that have released, because as you can see, some of them are able to be limit broken, which gives them additional effects. You can see they all get 3 potential abilities, additional cooldown reduction, but you can see they need the very specific Stampede limit break materials, which will only be available on the new island that will appear when Douglas Bullet arrives. So they can limit break, the Urogan X Drake can limit break, they can limit break, so there's 4 of them that can limit break. So the Foxy and Wapple and the Bato and Cavendish do not limit break, so that's good to know. So the secondary team that I want to run for you guys is a Carrot free-to-play team. Obviously, like the rest of the units are free-to-play with Legend Carrot Captain. Again, as I said, it's a very, very easy island. You really don't have to worry about it too much. So let's go ahead and run through it with the extremely fast team. Now, if you are strapped for time, this is definitely the team that I would suggest to you guys if you have Legend Carrot yourself. Or even if you don't have Legend Carrot, you can definitely run some kind of hybrid style teams with, you can use like Legend Lucy as a captain with a friend Carrot. That would enable you to run it pretty fast. There are definitely ways around it. You can even use Legend Jack with a friend Carrot if you really wanted to. I wonder if that would really work. Probably, if you plan your team out correctly. But let's get into this. So I don't actually think we even need to stall with this team at all. We can actually just kind of fly through it. I did test both of these teams before I recorded this video, of course, but I actually don't remember if I stalled or any turns for the Carrot team. I don't actually remember. But yeah, as I said, it's a very, very simple raid, so you don't really need to like be too worried heading into this. As I said, you can just kind of fly through it with whatever units you have, as long as you have like the relative units to, you know, get around the enemy's HP. That's basically it. Like this turn here against the Capona Poo and the Bato Cavendish, yes, they do have 3 turns of damage threshold, but you can literally stall it out if you want to. They don't actually deal that much damage, so as long as you have a decent health pool, you're gonna be fine. But of course, we are using Legend Carrot with this team, so we can legitimately just kind of fly through this without having to, you know, stall or remove his damage threshold, which is really, really nice. And just kind of do that. Like, as I said, you know, these are just completely free-to-play units. As long as you got Legend Carrot as the captain, you're kind of fine. So against your Rogue and against the Foxy and Wapple, again, he has the defense up. So what we can do here is we can actually use Colosseum Magellan's special ability to reduce his defense to 0 for 2 turns. I think it's 1 or 2 turns. And it also gives us a conditional boost. Like, the conditional boost doesn't really matter that much, but it's all about just reducing that defense. That's the main component here. Now, because we will get a lot of damage there, like, we actually don't even like need to like attack in any order or anything. Of course, we are blinded, but that's not really a big issue. It's fine. We still do like so much damage. You could even use a Carrot special on that turn if you really wanted to, if you were super duper worried about killing that stage. And of course, the final boss fight against Kidding Killer and Bonnie and Hawkins. Once again, they're going to be doing the same things with the Despair. They have end of turn damage. They will have the immunity buff as well. Again, what we can go ahead and do here is now that we have the Edward Weevil on our team, because the enemy does have an immunity buff, we can use his special ability to get a type boost. And then at this point, we can actually go ahead and use the Carrot to get us an orb boost. And pretty much at this point, it's GG. Pretty much GG. There we go. Like, really no issues whatsoever. Now, of course, these units do have limit breaks, as we said, so it might be worth it to save the units until the new island comes out, so then you could feed those characters to themselves, upgrade their limit break abilities, as well as maxing out their skill and their support abilities straight away, instead of, you know, maxing them out now, and then you'll have to farm, you know, an extra, like 11 or 12 copies once you can limit break them. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be waiting until the limit break island is out, limit break them, and then feed the copies to themselves. And of course, completing another chopper mission, we do get additional copies of the units. So just giving a very, very brief rundown of these characters once again. I'm not going to go through their captain abilities. Their captain abilities are not really that great, but I would just want to talk about their special abilities of each of these units. So the first one here is Foxy and Wapple. A pretty interesting unit, actually. They delay all enemies for 1 turn, and they drastically reduce all enemies' defense for 1 turn. I believe the drastically, you know, reducing the defense, I believe that's between 70 or 80%, so not horrible. You can definitely do things with that. Of course, you can use that to generate a conditional boost, either with a delay conditional boost or a defense down conditional boost, depending on what kind of characters you want to be bringing. He is a fighter shooter character, which is a pretty interesting class combination, but overall pretty interesting. Not amazing though. Next is going to be the Bonnie and Hawkins. Their special ability will reduce your crew's paralysis duration, as well as the chain multiply growth rate duration by 3 turns, and changes all your colored orbs into recovery and tandem. And there are plenty of characters in the game that can make recovery and tandem beneficial to your team, so that's not a terrible ability. Just a little piece of utility, and some slight orb manipulation is always kind of nice to have. The next one here is Apu and Capone, a shooter free spirit unit. They reduce despair by 4 turns and will also give your shooter and free spirit characters a 1.75 orb boost. An all-round pretty decent free-to-play unit. Definitely a unit that you want to be maxing out for sure. The next one is your Rogue and X-Drake. I think this is probably the one that I see the most used, and the reason for that is because he does damage that goes through barriers, typeless damage that goes through barriers, and he gives your fighter and powerhouse characters a 1.75 color affinity boost for free. Pretty nice ability. Obviously no utility in his special ability, which can be a hit or miss, but overall this is a pretty nice ability just to get some color affinity, some extra damage output for your fighter and powerhouse teams, and just his classes in general are really good. Fighter and powerhouse are one of the most common class combinations in the game, so yeah, this unit is going to see play in a lot of different teams, which is nice. And then the last 2 strength units, we've got Batu and Cavendish, who aren't very good, unfortunately. They reduce damage taken by 90% for 1 turn, and they also will double their own attack for 1 turn as well. Like, only their own attack, not the crew's, but just their own attack. So yeah, not amazing. And then the final character, of course, is going to be the Kid and Killer, who have a really, really good artwork, by the way. But their special ability reduces bind on your entire team by 4 turns and gives your striker and slashers a 1.75 attack boost. Again, just a really powerful unit, especially if you are just starting up the game. This is an amazing raid to farm, because these free-to-play units are probably going to help you out in a lot of content moving forward, especially if you are like really, really early game. But if you're a more end-game player like myself, these units probably won't see too much play, as you do have a lot of rare recruits and legends that kind of already fulfill these roles in your crew. But overall, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video breaking down this island with 2 definitely good teams to farm with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.